I mean, we can talk about whatever if that's
No. I'm excited. You don't understand. I'm chomping at the
I
bit
have
right
a
now.
feeling Jose has comments already,
Oh,
and he's just
or-
holding.
or
He's
so many-
holding them back.
or he's gonna make me contradict myself.
No, I have so many opinions about this.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Hi, and oh man.
Why did you count down? Why did you count down for yourself? That's weird.
Oh, hi, and welcome to It's Going to Get Stupid, your favorite podcast. I'm Rick.
Oh, Jose.
And I'm Holly. Get it together, guys. Come on.
He was so ready though. Like you can see the preparation. And he was like, I got this. And then, hi.
I was really trying to like psych myself up to do this well,
Oh,
and it
did
just
great.
didn't. It just didn't. Yep.
Well, welcome everybody to another podcast. And maybe I love this. I love the intro thing. I love just having you guys do the intro because it's just so much fun. It brings me joy in my life.
I'm glad it brings you joy. I'm sure the audience loves it as well.
So cringy.
Is it cringy? Is it bad?
Oh,
I think it's
cringy.
hilarious when maybe it's cringy in person. Over here, it's not cringy. It's uncringe. That's what it is.
Mm.
Well, you
what
can't
would be
see
the
it,
opposite?
so.
What would be the opposite of cringy?
Good.
Good. Oh gosh.
Pleasant.
Pleasing. Pleasing to the
Pleasing,
ears.
Pleasing. Cringy to the ears is what just happened.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Yeah, we're gonna have a good show today. It's gonna be fun. But first, you can reach us at it's going to get stupid at gmail.com on our Gillette
You can also tweet us at IGTGS show.
I don't know why I said Gillette but you can get us on Facebook, facebook.com/it's going to get stupid.
You can wow, Jose, your phone is really distracting me.
Is it?
It's like
What's it
super
doing?
garbled. You can
Hello?
also yeah, I can hear you. It's just garbled.
Okay.
You can reach us on Instagram at It's Going to Get Stupid. I actually posted something
Yay.
What?
this past week. Yeah.
Did you really?
Well, yeah, like I posted the clip of the episode.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You can reach. You can go to Facebook. No, dang, I'm totally thrown off now. You can go to YouTube.com and search "It's Going to Get Stupid" podcast.
And you can actually find something because I posted
I
episode
saw. Yes.
I don't know what number it was. Was it
82?
83?
83?
I posted a video of episode 83. Now, guys, it's not like an actual video. It's just our voices on YouTube, like
Which is good.
with a poster.
Which is good
going.
enough for me.
And then lastly, you can leave us a voicemail, and hopefully it doesn't sound as garbled as Jose's phone at
It still sounds
281.
bad. Should I call back in? What am I doing?
Let's call back in real fast. Hold on one
Okay.
second. But you can reach us. You can leave us a voicemail at 281-698-7043. Let's see if we can get Jose back, and it can be clearer this time. One moment, please. Your call's important to us.
Technical difficulties.
This is what happens during a pandemic when you're trying to record a podcast. Okay. Can you hear us now?
Yes. Am I better?
Yeah, you're a bit better.
That's better.
Oh, nice. A bit better. That's code for no.
No, it is.
Anyway.
It is better. It is better.
That's code for no. Yeah, a bit. You still sound garbled. You suck. Cool. So we missed all that intro, but it's totally fine. It's all good.
Totally fine.
So keep
Totally
going
fine.
live, doing live. So today we are going to talk about a kind of a hodgepodge, but really like celebrity, with a little sprinkling, a little Salt Bay of cancel culture.
Wow, Salt Bay, bringing it back to what, like 2016?
Who 2020? It could be 10 years ago for all we know. Who knows
This is
when
very
that
true.
was. It was in the dark ages.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Rick brought up this topic, so I'm gonna let him talk about it.
So yeah, what really sparked it for me was we have a current celebrity that is running for president of the United States of America right now. Now, I don't take this very seriously because he's only, I think he's only available on like 11 different ballots. He can be written in on like another 17. So technically, if he won every ballot where he was available from and he got written in and won those states where available, he could technically win based on
I'm not gonna lie right now. when you originally brought that up to me, I thought you were talking about Donald Trump. No joke. I really thought you were talking about. I was like, yeah, obviously we have one for president. He's the president right now.
No,
I
I'm
didn't
talking
realize
about
you were
Kanye
talking
West.
about Kanye West. Didn't realize that. I thought you were talking about Trump.
The other celebrity who is currently our president can be voted for legitimately. Now, personal opinion, I don't think you should, but that's just me. You can do whatever you want. You have the
should
right
vote
to
for
do
whoever you want.
whatever
Yes.
you want.
Yes.
The United States of America, that's the right. You can vote for whoever you want. You can just throw your vote in the trash. Do whatever you want with it.
You absolutely can. But anyways, I feel like we're in this. No, I don't feel like. I know we're in this era of glorifying
The glorification.
the glorification of celebrities, where we are so invested in celebrity culture and celebrity life that I mean, this is where you start to get like cancel culture. This is where you start to critiquing like every move a celebrity makes and really concerning yourself with their lives as if it were really important to you, and also dictating your taste based on what you see like celebrities wear, what you see them do, and things like that. And then we also have where I do think it's serious is when you have a celebrity that is by no means necessarily qualified to run for president. And I'm referring to Kanye West.
We already know that Donald Trump's not qualified to run for president, guys. Stop mentioning that. So have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
No, I haven't, but I feel like I should have.
Okay. So for anybody who hasn't seen Idiocracy, it's basically about this guy who goes into the future because he's in the sleep pod, whatever. And it's what's his name?
Is it David Arquette?
It's Wilson, Luke Wilson.
Okay, yep, same thing.
And the unbroken wow.
Same thing. Wow.
Dang, talk about cancel culture. Cancel that man's whole career. Anyway, Maya Rudolph's in there too, and she's amazing. But anyway, so they wake up in the future and everyone is stupid. Like legitimately stupid, because they say that all the smart people stopped having babies because they wanted to pursue careers, and all the dumb people kept having babies, which is probably true because I have a lot of children. So as a result, the country just became dumb to the point where this guy, because he's an average dude in the army, but he becomes the smartest person alive. Their president of the United States is Hector Elizondo Camacho or something. He's a former wrestler, and he's the president, and he's played by Terry Crews, and it's hilarious. And he's like comes out and he's doing ads for like different products and stuff. And so it's like every time I think about where we're at right now, I'm like, we are one presidential election away from Hector Macho Camacho.
Yeah, it's no doubt. And I think that like I've heard a lot of like comparisons to like President Trump being that guy, but I really think like if Kanye West were that president, like that's where we would be. Like,
yes,
Idiocracy would no longer be a fictional movie; it would be a documentary about this next.
It would be a prophetic
era.
Vision.
Yeah,
prophetic vision.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, and the interesting thing is I think people are voting for him.
They are. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen friends that I've gone, I've been associated with in the past that have actually like supported him and like are really like inspired by him running for president. And I really think it's only just because I don't know what it is.
It's the same reason that Trump was elected president. We are looking for something different.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking for an outlier that is going to shake up the system, but we're looking anywhere. like there's like no parameters of qualification lately.
Well, why would there be though?
Yeah.
And you've now broken the barrier, right? It's like you've opened Pandora's box, and now anybody can be president apparently. Yeah. As long as you have enough money or you are entertaining.
Yeah. And I think what scares me, or what I try not to use that word scared, because scared, like, I think
implies fear
and panic. Like I'm trapped in my house and I'm like, weeping and actually concerned about this. And what I do on Tuesdays is my business.
So everybody during the pandemic is what you're saying?
But I feel like when you look at like the validity of like Kanye West running for president, is that we would have a president that would that would literally make decisions based off what he feels is the most hype worthy thing to do.
Yeah, wasn't there like a whole Twitter feed about this marble table that he
Yeah.
wanted?
Oh my
What?
gosh.
Oh,
That
think
was-
about the tweets from President West. Oh my gosh, they would
Oh, no,
rival Trump's
no.
tweets.
I can't remember what year it was. It was
It was like 2 years ago.
no, it was longer than that. And what's his face? Josh Groban. I think Jimmy Kimmel
Oh, yeah.
had Josh Groban
Yes.
sing Kanye tweets. I'll have to
Yes.
find it and post it in there. But it was basically like, if you look through Kanye West's tweets from like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there would just be random things like, yo, I'm looking for a marble conference table. Anyone know where I can find one? And like, that would be it.
This guy is crazy, man.
But
I mean, like literally, like I mean, not to demean, mental illness.
But yeah, Josh Groban did this whole like bit on Jimmy Kimmel that was all of the weird tweets
Yeah.
that he tweeted out,
It
and
was just singing Kanye tweets.
yeah, and it was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is before like all the insanity that we've seen of him in the last 6 months. And yeah, like Jose said, like I don't want to diminish mental illness. Like Jose and I were talking about this earlier today. I genuinely feel like something is wrong with him.
But I think he is seeking treatment right now. I think he is.
I don't
getting
know. Like I
treatment.
can't tell. Like what spurred this conversation for me was I listened to the Joe Rogan interview of Kanye West. I don't really listen to Joe Rogan anymore because he said some things during the pandemic, or like during the heat of the pandemic that I really disagreed with. But I wanted to listen to this because we run a podcast and I figured it'd be something we'd talk about eventually. This man is running for president, Kanye West, and it would be, he's not going to be on any of the debates, thankfully. But
No, that'd be so great.
it was interesting to kind of hear what thoughts he did have. And what I will say is there were some nuggets of valid thoughts within this 2.5 hour rambling of nonsense. But the majority of it was just kind of, it was just all over the place. It was rambling. It was like literally losing his train of thought and just kind of staring off into the distance. At one point he gets asked a question from Joe Rogan about his foreign policy, and he just he almost starts to answer the question like a politician would. He's like, yes, I have thought of, and then just goes silent. And he kind of just closes his eyes, and I swear for 10 seconds, and the cameraman like goes back to Joe Rogan, and you can kind of see him like, okay, what's happening? And it goes back to Kanye, and then he wakes up, he snaps out of it. He's like, I just said a prayer. And it's like, cool. Like, all three of us, like we are believers in Jesus. We're Christians.
Yeah.
And that's something you want out of your president, right? We want a praying president, right? But also want one that's a bit more mentally stable.
And one that can
interesting-
answer questions.
And one that can answer questions.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
1 out of 3. Anyway, so sorry. So well, that's actually 0 out of 3. Anyway, the point, that you bring up an interesting point about Kanye's conversion to Christianity.
Yeah.
And when it first like came real big and was the spotlight was on it, a lot of people were like, oh, I don't know about this, and is he just doing it for publicity? And they were hating on him for it. I was actually, I don't know if you remember, I was pretty excited.
Yeah.
Because I know that God can use anybody.
Absolutely.
And can work through anybody. I did have concerns because of his mental illness that, it could be something he's just delusions of grandeur. And I've had family members that have had that problem, being very faithful, but like overly faithful to where they would take the Bible literally. And so I wasn't sure about what was happening, but then, I heard his songs and I heard what he was doing. I was like, God can use this. But I don't think that Kanye is mentally stable enough. And I am concerned that he uses his faithfulness as a tool to open doors and do other things.
Yes.
And I know that's not what it's for, right? It's
Right.
not for that. It's not for people to accept you or like you. That's not what you serve God for. You serve God for God.
Right.
And so interestingly enough, Kanye says stuff like this. He just tweeted this out when Issa Rae did SNL. He goes, I've always said that SNL uses black people to hold other black people back. My heart goes out to Issa Rae. I'm praying for her and her family. I know that the 20 years of service that I've paid in the entertainment field has furthered our ability to be more successful. That's crazy. I don't know what to say. I'm not saying that he hasn't contributed to the entertainment industry, but to say that because of Kanye, black people are more successful.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's saying, I'm assuming.
Well, so like case in point, during the middle of this interview, he's talking about, so he goes on these really weird hypocritical tangents where he'll say like money doesn't exist because it's made up. We should just print more. And that'll like he's working towards a situation where the money is no longer an issue because you won't need it anymore. You'll barter based off relationships.
What?
Exactly. But then he brags about how he was $53 million in debt and how managing to get out of that debt qualifies him to be president. Two conflicting thoughts there. But then he goes into talking about how his new goal outside of being president is to buy Universal Music Group. Because it'll get him out of his contracts. He'll be able to become this new mogul, and it's only a $33 billion company. So that's something that he sees as attainable in his mind. But the other reason he's like, this would only benefit Universal, because why wouldn't you want the person that has the best taste in all of history?
Yeah. You talked about him being a taste
right.
maker, which is different than the tastemaker from Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut, we would like some free pizzas now. Thank you. And whereas he says something and people gravitate toward it.
Well, and even like while he's talking during the interview, like when he would like catch himself at the end of a rant, he would say, "I just gave you a symphony."
Obviously, there's delusions of grandeur there with Kanye.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's an artist, yeah, and he's got an interesting way of doing things. But I feel that like even the interview with Joe Rogan, like Joe Rogan knows what's going on and he puts it out there. Like, don't you think it's a little exploitive?
Who's being exploitive? Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan. Yeah. Joe Rogan.
I would say like he knows that he's going to get a certain, like, because people just follow Kanye blindly.
Yeah.
He knows that he's going to get a certain number of views on top of it.
Yeah, and he also knows that like he's allowing him to ramble on about these things. I feel sad for Kanye being used in that way.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people are trying to use him because of the influence he has.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just weird. Like we're in such a weird state, and then I guess this can kind of segue into like our thoughts on like how like cancel culture has become so prevalent these days. There were stories of Ellen just becoming so, like, there was so many like rumors about like how she was treating her employees, how she was treating her staff, and whether or not that was relevant when you also have people that are coming up against sexual misconduct, allegations of sexual misconduct in the comedy world. I mean, we had Louis C.K. come out, a few years ago for what he did.
More like be outed, but yes.
Right. Yeah. Yes. He was outed. And I'm not going to say what he did because, we do let our kids listen to this podcast.
Yeah. It was very, very bad.
But, you have people that I feel like at some point we have to choose where we're going to point that canceling energy towards, and not just like everyone does something bad, they're immediately written off. Right, like they're immediately voted off the island.
Well, I think there's a difference. I think like the comedians that, because I feel like there's been a lot of comedians lately have been like outed for sexual misconduct. I think if it's that type of thing, you shouldn't continue to get paid to be influential. I mean, I think you've kind of lost that right. But like in Ellen's situation, I'm not saying that it's okay to be terrible to your employees. I mean, if she was a terrible boss and caused issues with her employees, I mean, she should be held accountable to that. But what people were having the big issue is like her big thing is be kind to each other, and she wasn't. But the thing is, like, her talk show and her game show, she was funny. She was entertaining. She was helpful. She like bought a lot of stuff for people in need. I mean, it's like she was doing her job. The job that she was paid for was to be entertaining, and she did that.
Yeah.
So how she is privately, unless she's like doing something really terrible, it's like.
But here's the problem, Holly. It's not private. It's at her workplace.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, she should be held accountable for the way she
Yeah.
treated her employees. But they were like, cancel her, and it's like, but is her show not entertaining? Like, does she not do her job?
Well, she should be fired. I mean, 100%, guys. I know it's that's her job to be entertaining, but her job is also she's the boss of these people.
No,
And
I mean,
she's
if the things that they said that she did, like, at the workplace were true, then yeah, she shouldn't have that job. But I mean, a lot of people were having issues like, well, we weren't supposed to look at her. It's like, well, who cares? Like, if she doesn't want you to look at her backstage, like, that's not part of her job. Her job is, but I mean, if she were causing separation.
But here's the thing: if I was to accidentally look at her, and now I'm being harassed, maybe not even fired, but harassed at work because of it, and having to feel that pressure. I mean,
no, if it's like if you're being harassed at work, I mean, she should be held accountable for that. But I mean, that's not what I'm talking about, because I mean, I guess there have been enough. People that have come forward.
So yeah, and so the thing, because I get what you guys were saying, and that's why I probably jumped at this because I don't like arguing. But it's the same thing with like sexual misconduct. We just put a higher value on that because we feel it more. But you're right, man. She claims being kind to everybody is what she should do. Here's the thing: I like Ellen DeGeneres. I like her show. I think she's funny. The interviews are kooky and great, whatever. But if you're so mean to people that they are having like mental breakdowns and stuff, because from what I've read, people have had that, then she should be fired.
Yeah.
She should. I don't know if she should be canceled. Like we should cancel her, but definitely she should be reprimanded for what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, she should definitely be held accountable for the way she's. Like, I mean, if you're a terrible boss, you need to be held accountable for that. But I'm just saying, like, should her show be canceled just because she might be a terrible person backstage?
Yes. Because at the end of the day, just like Kanye West, we're talking about him being elevated to a different status, right? Yeah. But a lot of these celebrities are role models and they're looked up to. And if we don't fight against the role models that are there and in front of everybody's faces and stand up against, harassment or people, saying they're nice and they're not and being super unkind, and having that double face, if we don't call that out every single time with celebrities, I think we let it go and it's acceptable now. And that's what happened. We see a lot of that acceptable in society. The cancel culture problem I have is when we cancel people that aren't celebrities. Yeah. They're unwitting celebrities, and we do it based off of hearsay. Because here's the thing, I don't think any of this has been like proven, or maybe with Ellen it seems it's a hearsay or whatever, because she hasn't admitted to anything. So canceling her for rumors, probably not a good thing.
Right.
But then again, you look at the sexual misconduct. Some of those aren't always founded, and they just cancel them anyway because they want a distance from it. Totally.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
So I don't know what the right answer is. I just know that we have to stop looking up to celebrities.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer. Like, we have to stop looking to celebrities to choose how we're voting, how we're making decisions based on our life, which clothes we're choosing to wear. Like, we have to, and what kind of music we're going to listen to. There are so many people that, and I think that's why, like, back when, in the 90s and anything prior to like 2010, we actually had albums. Like, we had artists make albums that were cohesive. They were usually like 10 to 13 tracks. They usually told a story, and you could really dig into it. Now we're in singles culture where all you have is like this collection of what the youth refer to as bangers.
Really? Like even Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
She was like famous before she even put out an album.
Right.
She didn't put out she put out like a couple of records and that was it. And then she didn't have like maybe an EP, maybe. And then she did like 3 years later or 4 years later, she had an album, man.
Yeah, I mean,
But she's already making money.
and I'm not saying like she can't, like these artists can't be talented. They certainly can, but so much of what we consume is now based on like how popular it is, and who's listening to what, that we don't really like. Our society is starting to lose original thought, right? Where like I can like something just because I like it, not because so and so likes it, or I don't. And I know like I'm seen as a contrarian, and I get a lot of like, oh, Rick doesn't like that because it's popular. In some cases, I will admit that that's true.
It's true.
It is true in some cases, but there's also times
Uh,
where like
pretty
I
much
just
every
get
all
tired of
cases.
not in all
Pretty much every
cases,
case.
not in all
Almost
cases,
every case.
All cases.
9 times out of 10.
but there's a lot of cases where like I just don't enjoy it, like The Princess Bride. I'm just gonna bring it up every time.
Stop talking
But
about
I think
it.
you just don't. I think you just don't enjoy it because everybody wants you to enjoy it.
Well, that's the assumption, right? Like it's kind of like
No, that's the truth. No, I know. But it's not. But that's not your cup of tea.
it's not. It's definitely not. But
But
so
but,
much
but
of the youth,
I'm gonna call you out right now
Okay.
by saying the Cable Guy is your favorite comedy
it is.
is a problem. That's a problem.
It's a big problem. Yeah.
But continue.
Anyways, so much of like the younger millennial crowd is like so obsessed with like the hype culture, right? Like Yeezys are terrible looking shoes.
All their shoes are trash. All his shoes are trash.
They're all trash. They're not even comfortable.
They're
Like
expensive,
from what I
man.
hear, and
And
they're also
they're not even well
ridiculously
made. They
expensive.
fall apart, don't they?
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah, they're not good shoes. Jordans are not comfortable shoes. Like
no.
I can't tell you like how many times people have told me like Air Force Ones are not actually very comfortable because they're the same shoe back when they were originally released, and none of the technology in them has been updated. But people buy them because they quote unquote look good on jeans.
No, they buy them because they're Air Force Ones, man. They're just
Right,
buying
but that's
them
what I
'cause they're-
mean. Like they just they become like a style that you adopt, but they're not comfortable shoes. Even Chucks aren't very comfortable.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, they're nothing, right? Like they're nothing very like substantial. Like they're not really
So-
necessarily good for your feet.
No.
So I mean, we've always been interested in celebrities,
Yeah.
you know, right? Because of their status, and it's even becoming more prevalent now because of the way that our society is so focused on content.
Yeah.
Right. We are a content focused
Yes.
society now, and because of that, there's more celebrity interaction,
Yes.
right? And or not necessarily interaction with us, but you just see more of it. There's more.
There's interaction because like Twitter and Instagram,
That's
I mean,
true.
they respond to some
That's true.
people. So I mean, they can interact with you.
Well, and even now, like because of the pandemic and the entire movie industry, like got brought to a halt. Like Brie Larson has a YouTube channel now. Or
Yeah,
like
a lot of them.
a lot of them have YouTube channels and Twitch streams now.
It's like we have nothing else to do.
did a Twitch stream.
Yeah,
I
we
last
saw-
have,
week.
we have nothing else
It was
to do.
it was great. Did you watch it?
I watched for like 5 minutes, but it was like the third highest ranked Twitch stream
Oh yeah,
in the
dude.
entire history of the platform.
I think she had at one point 460,000 people.
Yeah.
Watching it.
Yeah.
And before she even started, there were 200,000 people in the chat room.
Yeah. Now, where I see the difference with her is she's a politician and she's trying to reach the youth where they're at, right?
She's a celebrity politician, yes.
She has.
I mean, she's a-
she
I
has
mean,
a
don't get me
celebrity.
wrong.
She has
Don't get me
celebrity about
wrong.
her.
I don't mean that in a derogatory
Right.
way at all. I'm just saying that she's a celebrity politician, which
Yeah.
she's doing the same thing that Obama did,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I'm going to get my name out there in certain ways so that I can promote good,
Yep.
which is not a bad thing.
Where I think it starts to be of concern is now we have these celebrities that are coming from the other side, where there's celebrities who are running for office and
Well, we probably had that. Ronald Reagan.
no. Right. He was also the governor of California before he became president.
You mean just straight from being a celebrity
Exactly.
with no political experience and then thinking they can do the job?
Exactly. That's what's terrifying to me.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's terrifying in a way, but I wouldn't say that just because someone is a celebrity they can't make a good politician. Even the president, honestly, because we've had politicians for
Right.
many years and they do the same thing over and over again. But the problem is when we worship a celebrity,
Yes.
They're a human being that will fail.
Yep.
Ultimately, every single time.
Yep.
So, we as a society have to move away from worshiping. Well, my thought about it is worshiping anything but God.
Right.
But even if you don't follow my belief, worshiping a person, probably not a good thing.
No.
It's never going to end well.
Or just assuming that they actually know the facts.
Or know the people. Like that's the problem, is that oversaturation of people that we see with celebrity, we think we know them. Like people thought they knew Ellen.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't know Ellen.
Well, and it's also disturbing how like there's so many companies out there that are paying for these celebrities to advertise their goods, but it's like people are like, oh, you like this thing, that if you like it, I'm gonna love it. And it's like, it may not be good for you. I mean, they're doing like supplements and like protein powders and different clothing. It's like, it may be terrible and they may not use it, but you're like, but if you use it, of course it's safe. You have like people that make sure that everything you wear and eat and ingest is going to be good for you.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, if you do it, it'll be fine for me. I don't need to do any research. But it's like, they don't wear this stuff. They don't eat this stuff. They get money for it.
Yeah.
And then you eat it and you get sick. And then you're like, oh, Kardashian, you let me down.
Yeah. I can't wait for someone to say, oh, Kardashian, you let me down. But I don't know. I mean, obviously I realize that these people are not who they say they are, because they have to be something else.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Kardashians, they're obviously caricatures of themselves.
Yeah.
That's not who they really are.
Yeah.
We want to think that's who they really are because they do things that are a little outrageous and crazy, but that's not who they really are. They're entertainers. They're entertaining. That's the problem I have with Trump. He's an entertainer and he's entertaining.
Yeah.
He's always entertaining, right? And so, we really have to be careful not to hook our ourselves or hitch ourselves to celebrities and other people. And we have to teach our kids not to do the same thing.
Yes.
Right. And that involves limiting the saturation of celebrity.
Yep.
So that they don't begin to, and I don't know why because I don't really care about celebrities as much. I think I used to. Do you guys care about celebrities?
Like as far as like their opinion and stuff like that?
Like, look, so for instance, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will, if you bring up Ellen DeGeneres, if you have a real big fan, they'll fight against her as if she was like a political opponent, and they want to be on her side and defy all logic and everything and throw it out the window and just be like, no, this is wrong. I'm going to defend it because I care so much about that celebrity. You already know how I feel. Cancel her show, whatever. I don't care. Even though I like her show, it doesn't matter to me. Any celebrity. I've had, I liked Louis C.K., but he did something wrong. Cool. Yeah. Cancel him. Yeah. Cancel his whole career, whatever, throw him in jail, do whatever you need to do. That's fine. He did something wrong. He should be punished.
Yeah.
That's my thing. I don't ever think a celebrity going down or having, getting canceled will ever ruin my day.
No, I can't say there's anybody out there that would really mess me up. Like if I found out they were
really
who,
if Joseph Gordon-Levitt, something came out, you'd be like, no,
that's impossible.
Mandy Moore.
That's impossible. That's Mandy Moore.
Carrie Russell. If Carrie Russell was found in a big scandal, you would cry. You would ball up and cry. What kind of scandal would
Carrie Russell have?
Exactly. What kind of scandal would Carrie Russell have?
She was wearing a wig the whole time. No, Carrie Russell.
No, I mean, honestly, the only artist that I truly appreciate everything they do would be Trent Reznor, and there's a lot of stuff that he does that I don't already agree with. So,
but I think it's a difference. Trent Reznor has never pretended to be a role model.
Exactly.
I mean, he's I've messed up, I've screwed up, I've fixed it, and he's just basically doing what he loves.
Yeah.
And you can like it or not. He doesn't care, honestly. Yeah. But it's so many celebrities. It's they don't care about you. They just want the money. And it's so they need you to care about them. Okay. Trent Reznor doesn't care if you like him or not.
Of all the comedy podcasts, my favorite comedian for the longest time was Chris D'Elia. And a lot of stuff came out about him recently. And I guess, was I bummed when I heard about it? 100%.
Yes, you were bummed.
Did it stop me? I immediately stopped listening to his podcasts. I think I unfollowed him wherever I could, just because I didn't want any
You
part.
just canceled that dude.
Well, I didn't want any part of
Was
it.
it even proven? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I would have done the same.
I
would
didn't
have not paid any mind.
I didn't want any part of it, and I didn't want I didn't need to waste my time on that, right?
Yeah.
Like enough of it came out to where like I wasn't like going to start defending him or anything, because honestly, like when you look at like some of the things that he's done in his career, like in his legitimate career, kind of
You're
make
like, yeah.
it kind of, you're like, oh yeah. Like I think when I told Holly, she was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, like when stuff happened with Bill Clinton, I was like, oh man, Bill Clinton did that? That's crazy. Like I didn't defend it. I didn't even think
No.
anything of it. I was just like, oh, well, that's crummy for him. But some people were like, oh no, they're trying to bring it down. Blah, blah. I'm like, no, he did this stuff, guys. Like I don't,
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like sexual allegations, I'm just like, yeah, he probably did that. I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, but I think a lot of times we feel let down. I mean, Bill Cosby's a perfect example. It's like he was like America's dad. Like
Yeah,
everybody was like, Bill Cosby, he can't be sketchy.
But here's the thing, I can separate him
From the Cosby Show.
from Cliff Huxtable.
Yes, but
I could still watch the Cosby Show and be fine with it. I just can.
But Bill Cosby was like he was like, I don't know. I can separate it too. I don't like stop watching the Cosby Show because I love that show. But it's like when Bill Cosby, all that stuff came out, I'm like, there's no way that could be true. And then it's like I kind of felt let down when it was true. And it's like, seriously? And I think we like become so like invested in certain celebrities. It's like when they let us down or when they mess up, we're like, you let me down.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, they're
Maybe
human too. They're
Stanley.
going to make mistakes.
Maybe Stanley.
Yeah, but didn't stuff come out about him before?
Well,
he died?
they'd said some stuff, but it was like kind of whatever, and I was just like, I'm gonna ignore that.
So and I kind of had a thought, and I might have lost it already. But I feel like the Trump fans are very much like they don't care what people say about him, whether it's true or untrue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will defend this man
So
to the bitter end.
politics aside,
Yes.
right? Because it's not about his policies or
Right.
anything like that, but like, because you know me, okay? I'm not one or the other. I'm not a one-sided person.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like in the middle. Some people call me libertarian. I don't agree with that either. I just call things like I see it. I've said negative things to you about Joe Biden,
Yep.
just as I did about Trump, and I have problems with both candidates,
Yep.
right? But I'm waiting to talk to somebody that just agrees with me and says, yes, there are problems here. And yes, that is not good. And oh, he's a liar. Like, just agree with me that he's a liar every
Yeah.
single time he talks. That's all you have to do. I'm not saying vote for him or anything. I'm just saying call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. But they won't. Some people won't. They'll defend him to the core, and they'll argue, and they will do whatever.
They'll
And I'm just
justify
like,
it.
yeah, they'll justify it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know, you can keep believing what you want to believe, but just be
Uh-huh.
honest about it. And I think people do that with celebrities, period. People defended Michael Jackson for a long time. They defended Bill Cosby. They defended Louis C.K. Like, they defend all these people that are, have done wrong things.
Yeah.
Do I think somebody can be rehabilitated and come back and it's okay and get second chances? Of course, man.
Yes.
But you still have to apologize. I mean, not apologize. Apologize is not the right word, but you have to be remorseful. You have to show something. You have to do something else and try to change, and then try to come back, but don't expect the same thing you had. Like, I think Louis C.K. is trying to do that, right? I don't know the guy, of course, so I think maybe he's learned the error of his ways and realized what he was doing was wrong, and he's just trying to quietly do what he likes doing, which is comedy. Why are all these comedians also doing all this crazy stuff?
I have no idea.
What is wrong with comedians? Why do
I
they
don't know.
have this kind of
It's-
life?
It's kind of like during like the Robin Williams era, like a lot of people were like, well, if they're a comedian, like then yeah, they usually have some sort of like mental issues that are kind of like hidden under there. And it's like, oh, if they're a comedian, they usually have some like weird, like sexual misconduct issue.
Weird fetish.
Depraved.
Weird kind of fetish thing.
Yeah.
It's a weird fetish thing. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is. I don't know why they do it, but there's a lot of them.
Anyways, we rambled on a bit. We went on a lot of tangents. I think the
I
point
knew we would.
Yeah. The point of this conversation though is we can't look to celebrities to determine the nuances of our life, right? Like we can't emulate them. We can't just look to them to make our decisions for us because they don't know us. They're not our friends. They don't care. They don't care about us.
They're entertainers. Their lives aren't their lives, man. I mean,
Exactly.
you can hear stories like I think Keanu Reeves seems like a really good guy from anecdotal stories I heard.
Yep.
Denzel Washington, similar. He
Yep.
seems like a really like he does a lot of nice things, but they're also not in the limelight. They're not trying to be entertainers. They're just
Right.
actors.
Yep.
Then there's
Yeah.
a difference, right? I don't even consider Denzel Washington a celebrity necessarily because he's an actor. He does films and then he just kind of does his own thing. Celebrity to me is someone that does like the spotlight, does like the attention,
Yeah.
goes and does things and really feeds off of that. I just think, some people make good film and they go out, or they, have a good set and they go and do their business.
I think what's
They
really
don't-
commendable about Keanu Reeves is like if you look at any of the photos he's taken in his later years, especially as he's gotten older, if he's standing in a photo with a female, you can always see his hands.
Yeah.
In some way, like he and I feel like he makes a conscious effort to like make sure his hands are visible. That way there's never any like way to like have an allegation of like, oh, he touched me during this photo or whatever, because like his hands are always visible in every photo.
Yeah.
Unless he's
trying,
standing
man.
with a significant other.
Well, do you guys have anything to say? If you have a comment about this, or if you have a reason why we should worship celebrities, that's fine. Send us an email at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
Don't send us that email. You can tweet us at
Please do.
IGTGS show.
You can go to facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid and post celebrity pictures and memes.
You can find us on Instagram at It's Going to Get Stupid.
And you can reply to that audio clip with celebrity pictures and memes. You can go to youtube.com and search It's Going to Get Stupid podcast and listen to our last episode and some previous episodes.
And you can lastly leave us a voicemail at 281-698-7043 and not tell us why you worship celebrities.
Please, I want to know.
I don't.
So I did watch half of Bill and Ted's Face the Music so far.
Wasn't it great?
It's a good movie so far. I haven't finished watching it. They're in hell right now.
Yep.
But it's good. It's a good movie. I think that the Samara Weaving, and I can't remember who plays Ted's daughter,
Yeah.
but she's really good. I also realized that they are named after
Each
each
other.
other.
Yeah.
Like they're named after his
Billy and
Ted's,
Theodora.
Yeah, Ted's daughter's named Billy.
Yeah.
And Bill's daughter's named Theodora, which is really weird. They're playing on that whole relationship thing, so it's hilarious.
When they're in therapy and they're like,
They're in therapy with the
"We love you."
with the princes. He's like, no, Ted, I got this. We, Bill, and me, Ted. It's so weird. I was like, why is he going? What is he talking about? Really, truly love you.
the unsung hero of that movie is Darren, the robot.
Yes, Darren.
Oh gosh, he's so weird. It's
so-
it's a little cringe. It's a little cringy. I mean, like,
Oh, it's so good.
he's like
When
like
he
when
vaporizes them.
yeah, when he vaporizes everybody, he's like, oh, his face is like, oh no, this is a bad idea. Yeah, it's a good movie, man. I like it so far.
I thought it was just a really good, like, I felt like it didn't take it, like, Jose, you have to finish it. But it doesn't take itself too seriously. It doesn't try to like reinvent the series and make it something it's not.
Yeah.
I felt like it really like put a good cap.
Yeah.
In
It
cap
stuck
on the
with the
series.
formula.
It did.
And then, yeah, it was good.
It did.
I think it's good when a movie like that doesn't take itself too seriously. Yeah. So I also previously watched the Jay and Silent Bob reboot kind of movie, and I thought it was really good because I like all of Kevin Smith's films for the most part,
Yes.
and I know you don't. That's okay.
I do.
Holly does.
Yeah,
Rick
I
does
Rick does
not.
not. That's too mainstream for him now. He probably just likes Clerks and that's it. Anyway,
Even
so-
though Chuckle Butts comes from there. Did you know that?
didn't.
do you not like Clerks?
Oh, I love Clerks.
I don't know that I've ever seen it.
You have. I made you watch it.
What? did?
What is
Yeah.
the
I
black
know
and
I've
white
seen
movie?
Mallrats. I
Remember
know.
the lady with the egg, and she would roll all the eggs on the ground, and
Into the
And-
milk lady. She'd
and
bring all the milk.
Berserker. Oh, come on!
I do
did
remember
make
Berserker.
I
do
made you
remember
watch
Berserker.
it. I made you watch it.
I've seen Mallrats. Apparently, I've seen Clerks. I've seen Chasing
Chasing Amy.
You hated
I did
Chasing
not
Amy.
like
He
Chasing Amy.
hated Chasing
Really?
Amy. I loved
Yeah.
it. He
I think we need to
hated
do.
it.
You know what we need to do?
Kevin
A
Smith.
podcast about Kevin Smith. films.
Yeah, I'm down
So
for that.
I can have you hate every single. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Okay, this is good. Okay, cool.
You know,
Anyway.
I went to Red Bank, New Jersey, and
Did you
went
really?
to Jane Silent
Secret
Bob's
Stash?
Secret Stash. I did. It
Nice.
was a really cool comic book store.
I bet, man.
It was
did you
awesome.
Did you also go to the In-N-Out and the video place?
I did.
Oh,
I
nice.
did. I super nerded it out, the whole thing. I was super
I would be
nerd.
nerdy about that too.
I was
I
a
mean,
super nerd.
Wait, Rick, what about Dogma?
Oh, you like Dog? You'd like Dogma.
I like Dogma. I like Dogma.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And I've
That's
also
good.
seen Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Win, Lord, win. When's gonna be my time?
Oh.
Dogma was good. I appreciate
Did,
Dogma.
did you like Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back?
Um,
There's no way you like that movie.
It was
There's
so,
no
it was
way
so
you like
dumb,
that
but I
movie.
liked it.
There's
I
no
liked
way you
it
liked
in a,
it.
because
I love it.
yeah,
the only part that I liked, and I'm actually surprised I like this part, is Mark Hamill's little cameo.
Mark Hamill, like,
Oh, it
oh,
was great.
somebody's gonna
As
get
the,
sued.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. It's
No.
just too, yeah, you can't talk about. How are we gonna talk about these movies? This is pretty bad.
You can't.
But
They're
anyway,
good.
when I watched the reboot, it did not take itself seriously, but like not in a way that Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. It wasn't that crazy.
Yeah.
But it was just fun. It was just like a fun movie, you know, that you didn't really care about, and it didn't have to be serious.
Yeah.
But in a cool kind of way. I also recently watched Bad Boys for Life.
So good. It was so funny.
I don't know if I can spoil the movie because Julie hasn't finished watching it yet. She might not even care. She's in the room right now. I thought it was really good, like surprisingly good.
It was good.
It was, yeah. Again,
Okay.
No. Again, I don't feel like it deviated too far from the other two movies.
Yeah, they stuck to the
It
formula.
stuck to its formula.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah.
It was unrealistic.
100% stuck to the formula.
It was completely unrealistic. The ending is
But Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, I mean, they're so funny
Yeah.
together.
they are.
It was really funny.
What's wrong with the ending?
No, like it sets it up for
Oh, for more.
well,
Yeah.
and then they also made a spin-off TV series.
They did.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Oh, this is so good.
So
the other
Gabrielle
cast?
Union's character
Yeah.
is in it, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't
Oh,
remember who-
with the
What's her name?
chick from Sue Storm. What's her name?
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba.
So
yeah, you're right.
it's-
I like. Okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
you're
Stop.
right.
Stop for a minute. Okay, I like how you, out of all the movies and roles you could pick for Jessica Alba, you pick Sue Storm. Like that's. She's the Invisible Woman. Sorry, Jessica Alba. That is what your
I
career is
can't
boiled
think
down
of
to.
I
The
can't think of
Invisible
any other
friggin' woman.
movies.
But yeah,
I can't think of any others.
So yeah, they made a spin-off series. I think it's like LA's Finest.
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
yeah, you were telling me about that. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's gonna be cool, man. But I liked. I mean, it's actiony. It's it's Michael Bay, Jerry Bruckheimer craziness.
Yep.
I don't know if they did. I'm just saying that's the craziness it is.
Yeah.
Michael Bay again has a cameo
Yeah.
in the movie. And so yeah, but it was a good. I liked it, man.
Yeah.
It was a good, just a solid Bad Boys movie. But my favorite is still 2. I just really like Bad Boys 2.
I think my favorite is the first one.
That's fine.
But
It's super over. The second one is way over the top. It reminds me
Yeah.
of Fast and Furious,
yeah. You're right.
and I love Fast and the Furious, all of them except Tokyo Drift. Just never cared for that one.
No, I mean it definitely didn't fit in the entire series. The last movie we watched was The Walk with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, America's Best Actor.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
No, the
You
reason
mean that alien on Third Rock from the Sun?
the reason we watched this is because
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in it. Duh.
no,
basically.
no,
We know why you watched it.
my daughter we were doing as part of school we were studying Philippe Petit who the movie's based off of, who walked the Twin Towers before they were finished being built, because there's a book called Man on a Wire, and then and so we also read Mirette on a Wire, which was another French book about a little girl wire walker. So we were studying like wire walkers, and so the book, it was a little children's book about Philippe Petit. And I'm like, we wanted to watch that movie when it came out, but we never did. So since Rick loves Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I figured he'd be down to watch it. So
Yep.
we watched it, and it was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It's a little weird because Joseph Gordon-Levitt basically narrates the entire movie as
Yeah.
Philippe Petit
Really?
standing,
With the French accent.
and but whenever like you hear his voice, but then like the movie starts out with him standing in the torch of the Statue of Liberty, and as he's narrating, that's the place that he narrates from
Right.
the entire
Oh,
time.
okay.
So if
That's
they cut to
interesting.
him visually as the narrator, kind of explaining different parts of his life, he's standing in the torch of the Statue of Liberty. I thought it was a little weird that they had him narrate it, but then as I'm watching the movie, there's no way they could have connected all these different
Yeah.
timelines to make sense without it being
Okay.
like 4 or 5 hours long.
Okay.
Because it kind of like he kind of explains like how he kind of jumps from, you know, first being interested into the high wire and then going from like deciding that this was going to be his statement, this was going to be his what he called a coup, to make art, and then like ultimately leading up to actually doing what he set out to do. The movie was released in 2015, and it was really an homage and a tribute to the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
Like they did a really good job of modeling them and really just making them look like a work of art. And that's kind of what I got from the story, because so he decides to do this before the towers are fully open to the public. There's workers throughout the towers. You know, they're putting everything up. He ends up doing what he's doing in this clandestine operation overnight, where they set up the high wire in the middle of the night, and he has to get on it by like 6 o'clock in the morning in order for the crowd to see him. And it at the end of it, like when they've arrested him, like he ends up being on this high wire for an hour, going back and forth when the cops finally show up. Like he's just walking on it back and forth. At one point he lays down and just kind of rests on the high wire before he ultimately comes off of it. And for me, as someone who was afraid of heights, like I was getting anxiety just like looking at all the footage of what he was doing, even though it was computer animated and he was on a set. But what was really, I think, beautiful about it is as he's getting arrested, and I'm sure this is just part of the movie, but the workers that were working on the building like were applauding him for doing it. And I think what was interesting for me, what I took from it, was he took something that was mundane to maybe the workers, mundane to the city, like it's just another building, and he made it into something that meant something. Like he conquered something that no one thought was possible. He made these buildings into a work of art by doing this hour-long high wire act.
Well, when they were being built in the early 70s, most people were not happy.
Right.
They thought they were ugly, and it was kind of like an eyesore to the city line, the skyline. And so by him making this walk, people started enjoying the fact that they existed because he did this thing. So he kind of brought them to life. And so, I mean, I studied a lot about him with my daughter. We watched a little documentary, and the film was very like straight to what really happened. So it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
And one of the best things from it is they would have these like things where like they would say a phrase like "it's done," right? Like if in our culture
You can't go back.
we would say like, you know, there's nothing more you can do. It is what it is. But from what they explained in the movie, like the French culture is so culinary oriented. The phrase that they would use were the carrots are cooked, meaning you can't uncook the carrots.
You
Can't untoast
uncook
the toast.
carrots.
You can't untest the toast. The carrots are cooked. And so like whenever they were like having like these really like kind of bold conversations or like borderline arguments between like how they were going to do this or whatever,
Well, and they were like, we need to wait. Let's just wait 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
And
he would just say the carrots are cooked
yeah, the carrots
in
cooked.
French. But I thought that was just a really like, it was I don't know, everything about it was very artful, and it was very like it was. There was beauty in like the words that they chose, the way that they went about doing certain things. The way this story was told was just like it was a little bit like poetry. Like when you're reading it and you kind of, you know, you get through the build up and then to the end where you have like this cathartic experience of watching it. I don't know. It was, you know, aside from my Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Fandom aside.
bias, I thought it was really well done.
And Ben Kingsley was in it too, and he was
Yes.
funny. He was like his mentor, and he was really funny.
Yeah. Highly recommend
It
it.
was good. I liked it.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Also, I want to point out that Ellen DeGeneres is 62 years old,
She is.
and Portia de Rossi is 47. Anyway, that's weird. It's just saying.
Yeah.
She does not look 62. She looks like she's had plastic surgery done.
See, and when someone that mean, like they usually age not as gracefully. I'm just kidding. Like that has nothing to do with it.
I'm pretty. Oprah's mean. She's 66. You know Oprah's mean. Come on now. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
Oprah's real
That's why
mean,
she
dude.
gives out cars to everybody.
You don't want to look
Yeah.
Oprah in the face. She'll be like, "I'm
You
sorry, you
definitely
looking at
can't
me in
look-
the face?"
Can you? Oh, well, let's do this. So yeah, I mean, if you I don't know if you can email us. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to segue that. You can email us at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
You can tweet us at IGTGS show.
You can go to facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can find us on Instagram at It's Going to Get Stupid.
You can go to youtube.com and search up It's Going to Get Stupid podcast. Check out some of our old episodes.
And you'll be able to listen to this episode on there as well.
Oh, snap.
And then leave us a voicemail at 281-698-7043.
Also, we'd love it if you left us a review on the Apple iTunes podcast page. Give us a 4-star and drop a review. Tell other people how much you like the show.
Or,
That sounds so terrible. What
or
am I
5 stars.
doing here?
Or 5 stars.
Oh, did I say 4
You
stars?
did.
Is there 5?
There's 5 stars.
Leave the maximum amount of stars, whatever it may be. Leave the max.
The maximum amount of stars.
If
I
you're
sounded
listening
like
to
I'm
this
like-
podcast from the future and they've allowed for 10 stars, leave 10
leave
stars.
10, yeah.
Or if you want to create dummy accounts
Stop.
and just leave
Stop
a
it.
bunch
I
of
think that's
5-star
illegal.
ratings.
You can't say that.
Stop.
You can't say that.
You know-
can't do that.
I was about to say we're really nice. Like
Who's going to cancel me? Lisa
Outside-
Mattresses?
outside of the podcast, we're very nice. Except Rick is sketchy.
What is it? What is it? I forgot what that one mattress company I came up with.
I don't
I can't-
remember. Is
It was- it
Leatherhand
was-
Johnson's
it was-
going to
no,
pull
it
his
was-
sponsorship
it-
from our
He
podcast?
is. So I was gonna say, like, what kind of talk show host would I be? Like, if I could come up with the craziest stuff, I'm like, oh man, I'm running the show, and everybody's banking on me. I would just come up with crazy stuff. So maybe she's just coming up with crazy things.
I think you'd be a mixture of Dr. Phil and those Japanese game shows.
Oh
where
yeah.
it's like you'd have like a serious conversation, and then all of a sudden it'd be some challenge that if you lose, like you get hit with a banana in the face.
Yeah, like it would be like everybody come on my show, and they would be like serious interview, and then I'd be like, okay, now we're gonna switch to the talent portion or the wipeout gaming portion.
Yeah.
Here's your life vest suit. Let's get this going. I think I would do the whole. I don't want to see any blue M&Ms in the bowl ever. So no blue.
Really?
Or only
No
blue. But I think if you do only blue, they can just order blue. I don't want to make it that easy. So
Do
I
you
would
really
do
want
Reese's.
somebody? Do you really want someone pawing through your bowl of M&Ms to dig out a certain
Not
color?
during a pandemic. Maybe normally I'd be fine with
See,
it.
you'd have to put. I want 2 bowls of M&Ms, one that is all of the colors except for blue, and then all of the blue M&Ms removed from that bowl into another bowl.
Well, you know they do that so they can make sure that someone
Yeah.
actually read it.
Yeah.
But still,
I
I
would-
don't know that I'd want someone pawing through my M&Ms to dig out a specific color.
Well, I'd make sure they wear gloves. But also, I would want to do Reese's Pieces, and I would say I only want the yellow one.
It's not Reese's Pieces.
It is
It's
definitely Reese's Pieces.
Pieces.
It's Reese's Pieces.
It's oh my gosh, stop! Just I can't.
It's Reese's
I can't-
Pieces.
I can't-
What are you
stop.
talking about?
No.
Reese's.
It's 100%
Are you being
Reese's
serious?
Pieces.
It's
Are you being
Reese's.
Yes, I'm
serious?
100% being serious.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Pieces isn't a word. Pieces. It's not pieces.
It's not Reese's Pieces.
It's Reese's
It's
Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Stop talking. I can't even with you.
It's been a good 84 episodes, guys.
Stop talking.
This is where it ends.
When you go trick or treating, trunk or treating, or virtual trick or treating, whatever's happening this Halloween, it's Reese's
Stop,
Pieces.
Jose. I'm gonna break
It's not
quarantine.
Reese's.
I'm gonna break quarantine to come over there and
It's
slap you
really
upside
not
the head.
Reese's.
No,
Are we
it's-
sure it's not
It's
Reese's.
Reese's?
Reese's
sure?
Pieces.
I
It
promise
rhymes
you.
with pieces. Reese's Pieces.
But why would they rhyme it with pieces, man?
Because it's Reese's Pieces.
Oh, dude, this dude's name is Reese,
I
so
don't
it
know that
probably
we
is
can have this
Reese's.
conversation.
Rick is like
Reese's?
massaging his head from the headache that's happening right now. Jose.
How do you say Reese's Pieces?
Reese's.
Have we gone through 24 years of friendship and you've never said Reese's Pieces in my presence?
I'm sure
pretty
he
sure I
has.
have.
I'm sure he has, and you thought he was
Reese's-
joking.
I'm no, but I say like Reese's peanut butter cups.
Reese's.
So, okay, so you say
Oh wait, that's right. Reese's peanut butter cups. Why do I say Reese's Pieces?
You just said Reese's.
Wait, am I saying it right now? I'm confused. Is
Reese's.
this a Mandela effect? Or am I just dumb?
You're mixing
bing,
them
bing,
together now.
I'm totally confused.
Oh,
I don't know
man.
what to ask for when I go to the grocery store to get candy. I'm just gonna go with Hershey's.
Skittles.
Hershey's Pieces.
Stop.
I was trying to say something else like a Hershey's, but it didn't work.
I'm done.
Can I get a
I'm
a
done.
Hershey's almond bar?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
If you go to the Hershey's factory in Hershey's,
This is what happens when we
Pennsylvania-
record late at night.
This is what happens when we
This
record
is
late at
what-
night.
yeah.
This is what happens when the schedule is just completely destroyed. On that note,
So, don't worship celebrities.
No.
Watch AOC get murdered in Among Us if you want on Twitch. Don't vote for Kanye. Don't write in anybody. Actually, vote for an actual person, please. I think that's fair enough to say.
yes.
Go vote for sure.
Yes.
Don't pronounce it Reese's
And-
Pieces.
Don't pronounce. You can pronounce it however you want.
No,
it's
you
America.
can't.
Freedom
No,
of
you
speech.
can't.
Freedom of speech.
No, you
Pronounce it
can't.
wrong. It's fine. Pronounce it wrong. It's fine.
No.
You should definitely watch Bad Boys for Life. In fact, watch all three. Have a Bad Boys marathon this week.
That'd
Watch
be
the
awesome.
trilogy. It's a trilogy now.
That'd
That's
be
pretty
awesome.
It is a trilogy.
Cool. And watch The Walk.
Yeah. Watch the
Sounds like a great movie, man. A lot of good history in there, and an homage to the Twin Towers. So, until next time, have a happy Halloween
and go vote.
and go vote.
Yes. All of the above.
Bye.
Bye.